Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Natali, the Deputy Director of the Office of Legal Counsel. Any questions?
I have a question.
Hi.
Did the former deputy mayor ever receive any warnings or discipline for sexual harassment in the administration?
I can't answer that, and I don't know the answer.
Can you tell us when Mr. Falcecchio was notified? We're getting a timeline. March 8th is the first time you're made aware of the current allegations. The mayor orders the investigation on March 9th. When was Mr. Falcecchio notified that there had been allegations and an investigation opened?
Thank you. Pursuant to our process and standards, he was notified on the 9th, probably before noon, and he was notified by my director, Eugene Adams. And he was, the way these processes work, you're just told general about what the substance of the letter was, and he was informed to stay away from the complainant and to have this be his last day at the office.
And I'm sorry, what?
And that would be the last day at the office.
So that's new, because we were told it was Friday the 17th that he resigned, but you're saying now, so was he
I
fired?
mean physically, I'm sorry. I mean physically in the office on the 9th.
So he was banned from his
Yeah.
office, told not to return to his office.
He was asked not to return to the offices.
Okay. And then, did he resign? Was he fired?
He resigned
He resigned. And what date did he resign?
the 17th.
That was on the Friday.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mayor Bowser, did you ask him to resign? Did he resign on his own?
He resigned.
And then, can you tell us what happened between the 9th and the 17th as far as your investigation? And was he informed of any advancements in the investigation, or was he updated between then? Just trying to wonder why he didn't resign on the 9th, why it took a week for that to happen, and what happened during that week.
I cannot answer for him and his motivations, but on the 9th, pursuant to our standards, they're made generally aware of the substance of the letter, and the other, what I said, he was asked to stay away from the complainant and to kind of wrap up and finish his last day at the office.
Did he deny any of the allegations?
I cannot speak to that.
Now that we know that he wasn't at work the week of the 13th, what can you say, Mayor Bowser, about this line at the end of this news release last Friday that just said he was going to the private sector without any mention of the investigation? What do you say to those who think there's a lack of transparency here and that people deserve to know more sooner?
Regarding, you have to understand, despite the attorney for the complainant disclosing some information, we have a greater duty as the government to respect the privacy of the parties to the issue, as well as any potential witnesses and their colleagues. So during that time, there were very few people who knew about this situation, and we were requested to keep it confidential, and we were also required to. And I believe that part of that was also, not acknowledging exactly what was going on at that specific time.
So what specifically changed between Friday and Monday when you all announced that there was an investigation? What happened over last weekend that changed the dynamics where you were able to reveal that there was an investigation publicly?
I believe we were waiting for Mr. Falcecchio to get an attorney, as we advised him to.
Since Monday, a number of women have come out on social media saying they had similar experiences. My question is the scope of the investigation just around this one complaint, or have you received more complaints from other past or present DC employees?
I cannot get ahead of the facts in this investigation, but I'll assure you, if anyone else wants to discuss, wants to complain, wants to file anything, it would, related to this, it would be a part of this investigation.
So I understand he wasn't physically in the office after the 9th, is that correct?
I believe so.
Was he still working and performing his duties otherwise during that time before his resignation?
So the process, thank you. So the process when there's any investigation and someone is on admin leave, they are still allowed to wrap things up, do things only that they can do, but on a limited basis, such as not being in the office, not directly contacting the complainant. So as deputy mayor and chief of staff, he was permitted to do things that only he could do or to reassign things. So yes.
So he was placed on administrative leave on the 9th.
I think the Friday, we were working on that, so he took his personal leave. So I believe it was sick leave on Friday. But beginning on Monday, it was administrative leave.
Okay, and I want to follow up on something you said a couple moments ago. You mentioned the complainant that came out, that was mentioned in the statement from the lawyers that followed the press conference Monday. Is this the same complainant and lawyer that had reached out to your office preceding the complaint?
I'm sorry, I cannot answer that.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
I think you said it a moment ago, so I wanted to clarify.
Or maybe I didn't say it clear. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. And then I guess to rephrase the question, I think asked initially, Mayor Bowser, were you aware of any complaints, concerns, allegations considering your former chief of staff before this particular incident came up?
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Bowser cannot comment on that right now. Thank you.
I just want to clarify my question because I wasn't exactly clear. So if someone had a complaint and they made a complaint now, it would be part of the investigation?
If it was related to it. If not, we would open another investigation.
Can you say if there have been more complaints that have come in?
I'm sorry, I can't get that far into the investigation.
So you can't say on behalf of the mayor whether or not Mayor Bowser had been made aware prior to the allegations you received on the 8th of any prior, I mean, that leaves us kind of thinking that.
To be clear, I am the attorney involved with managing, making sure everything is going properly in this investigation. I cannot speak at this point anything to go with what Mayor Bowser knew at any time. That is not the focus of the investigation. These are certain other matters that are involved in this.
Mayor, how troubled are you, Mayor, how troubled are you by these allegations about your now former deputy mayor?
Let me just be very clear that we have policies and procedures that are implicated by these allegations, and we are following them with fidelity.
I guess, so if other complaints or concerns aren't the focus of the investigation, can you explain more about why you can't discuss anything outside the scope of this investigation as it pertains to Mr. Falchicchio?
I'm sorry, I'm not used to these kind of questions. So, okay, so anything involved with the matter that was described by the press release and the correspondence that we received, that is being investigated now. However, what happens in these kind of investigations, as the investigator talks to people and other witnesses, it may grow into other things. If there are other complaints that are related to Mr. Falchicchio in this, then that could or may not be in this investigation, but it will be investigated. If it's a different complainant, we may and we probably should have a separate investigation to keep the integrity of their complaint rather than mixing it up. And I hope that explains it a little better. I'm sorry about that.
That's helpful.
Can you just real quickly clarify also the role that you play here? I mean, you serve. Are you the mayor's attorney technically? Like, because again, I think we're trying to understand the role that you play.
Hi, you don't know me. Yeah, I'm. I get
You've introduced
it.
yourself, but mayor's office of legal counsel.
Yeah.
I mean, to the layperson, could mean what exactly? Like, what is your role here? Are you the mayor's personal
A lot of people don't
attorney?
really know what we do in the government. So we're the lawyers. I'm the deputy director. My boss is the director, Eugene Adams. We advise all of the lawyers in the agencies, the subordinate agencies, the general counsels and their offices, as well as advise the mayor. We have some other statutory duties that are not as entertaining, to be brought up here, but that's what we do. But we offer advice. We're also the prime liaison for OAG, and all the lawyers at ELM, we all kind of chip in and help each other. But that's what's going on now.
So who does your boss report to?
Madam Mayor, he's a direct report
Not
to
to the
mayor.
chief of staff?
No. He's a direct report to Mayor Bowser.
So would there ever be a situation where, let's say, an investigation starts pointing in other directions, that this would have to be severed from the mayor's office? Like it would have to go to some sort of independent counsel? I mean, we've seen this in other levels of government, that at some point the government itself can't be investigating itself, or an agency that responds to a certain person can't be investigating that person.
I understand that, but I want to assure you and everyone that my office, our investigator, does their work objectively and without fear or favor. The only way it could get moved out is if the subject matter, something else came out. We would properly ask someone else, with that knowledge and skills and investigative jurisdiction to handle that. But there will be no issues within my office handling this investigation.
Can you just talk, in the allegations that the attorney put out publicly to us, they used the phrase unwanted sexual contact. That sounds criminal to those of us who don't have law degrees. Is unwanted sexual contact criminal behavior?
I hate to say, I can't answer that, but I want you to know there's a process, and we have our investigation. I can't get ahead of the facts. If anything came up related to that in the facts and during the investigations, then that would be referred out. Those are that lawyer's words for her client, and I can't mischaracterize it or characterize it anymore.
Have you interviewed the woman represented
I'd rather
by?
not speak to that. But
How about
we're
Mr.
making
Falchecchio? Have you interviewed him?
We're moving, I would say, very efficiently with regards to this.
Is Mr. Falchecchio cooperating with your
I
investigation?
cannot comment at this time.
Is there any updated timeline on the investigation?
Okay, timeline. So which timeline do you mean? When the mayor, because I know there was an issue with.
Not correcting the record, is there an update
Okay,
on
yeah,
the
'cause I was
timeline
just
for
to
the
correct it.
remainder of the
Sure.
investigation?
There's a timeline that is 60 days upon receipt, knowledge of it. That is what we will try to hold to. However, if we need more time, or there's someone else to discuss or talk with, or another witness, and they want to write things up, we need another, then we may get that. But we will let you know about that. I want to also let you know regarding the timeline, when the mayor was noticed on the 8th, and the attorney asked, I want an investigation, we were prepared that Friday, 2 days later, to begin the investigation. We requested to meet with the complainant, and the attorney was out traveling and asked for another week. We were ready right from the beginning to do it, and it was just delayed a week. So we might have an extra week on the back end, but we'll let you know.
I know it was the evening of the 8th, but what time specifically, if you could say?
I don't know specific, but it was definitely I was home, everybody was home, so it was after 6:30.
All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So when I talk